My dear students, I am Dr. Aruna Mohan from Delhi University and I am here to discuss with you in this session gametogenesis. We have already discussed in earlier sessions asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction we started with human, the reproduction in human, and we have understood the male reproductive system and also the female reproductive system. And we understand the male gamete is sperm and female gamete is ova, and also we are aware of the fact that gamete has half the number of chromosomes, that is 23 only, 22 autosomes and 1 sex chromosome, and we call it haploid, whereas our normal cells in the body, somatic cells, are diploid, and germ cell also, when they start undergoing division, at that time originally they are also diploid in nature. In this session, I am going to discuss gametogenesis. In case of men, it is spermatogenesis, because eventually sperm will be formed. Before I go into detail, let me make you appreciate why it is happening, why this division is taking place. Of course, you will say, to form the sperm, to form the male gamete. Of course, yes, but why half the number of chromosomes? Why should be a reduction division? The answer is, this sperm is going to fertilize ovum at the time of fertilization, and after that zygote will be formed, and that will finally develop and grow into a baby. When sperm fertilizes ovum, it is meeting chromosomes of ova also. So, if sperm was carrying full number of chromosomes and ova was also carrying full number, the diploid number, that is 46, then chromosome number will be doubled in the zygote, and the baby will have double the number of chromosomes than what parents had, and the next generation it will be doubled again. How many times will you double? And not only that, it will have many other consequences. So, nature answered for this, and hence the reduction division will make the number of chromosome to half, so that half the number of sperms and half the number of ova, the chromosome number, when they meet, the result is a zygote which now has diploid number or full number of chromosomes, and that is why the reduction division becomes important. At this point, I would like to remind you that division are of two types. One is mitosis and one is meiosis. In mitosis, chromosome number remains the same, but in meiosis, chromosome number becomes half. That is one point to remember. The second point in this case is, in meiosis there are two continuous divisions. The first one is reduction division and second one is simple mitosis. I am giving you these details because I am going to apply these details while explaining spermatogenesis to you. So, if first division out of two in meiotic division, if first division is a reduction division, that means when one spermatogonia is dividing into two, I repeat, when one spermatogonia divides into two, each one will have half the number of chromosomes. Now, when this will divide into two, now it will have the same number of chromosome, because second division is mitotic. You can see in this slide, it started with one spermatogonia. That spermatogonia has undergone meiotic division, the first one, and that is reduction division. So, you have two cells, both are having half the number of chromosomes. You can see the movement of chromosomes. There on the left side is a bigger chromosome, on the right a smaller sized, and from both one chromosome has gone to each cell. That means one set in one and other set in other. Also, children, you know that you have chromosomes in pairs. That is why I said 23 pairs. From every pair, one will go to one cell, other will go to other cell. That means each pair is represented by one individual chromosome in one cell, and that is why and that is how the chromosome number becomes half. Now we are ready with haploid cell. Now this haploid cell will go simple mitotic division. Each will give rise to 2, and hence you will have total 4. From 2 you will have 4 cells. But now simple mitosis will result into 23 chromosomes only. So please remember, we started with 46, it became 23 after first meiotic division, and now second meiotic is simple mitosis. So all the 4 are having 23 chromosomes, and now they will give rise to sperms, and hence sperm will have 23 chromosomes. If we try to name these cells, we started with spermatogonia, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, and then the sperms. During this process, spermatogonia needed energy, nutrition and support, and that was provided by Sertoli cells which are present in the seminiferous tubule. Try to visualize or imagine that this spermatogonia was present in the seminiferous tubule. You can see in this slide, it is cut portion of seminiferous tubule, and spermatogonia is present near the periphery, which is taking part in meiosis, dividing, producing primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, and you can see some sperms in the center of the lumen. Here is the sperm. By now you are familiar with the structure of a sperm. It has head, neck, middle piece and the tail. The acrosomal part of sperm helps in penetration of ovum. Try to imagine that ova which is larger in size, sperm is smaller in size. The ova which is larger in size provides a bigger surface area for sperm to touch it and penetrate it. The moment one sperm through acrosome touches the ova and pricks it, that is the point the outer membrane of ovum becomes tough, hard, so second sperm cannot enter. As I told you, in one ejaculation during the intercourse, millions of sperms are transferred from male to the vagina of the female, which all start swimming towards the uterus and then towards the oviduct and then towards the fimbriated end of oviduct. Whichever sperm reaches first will fertilize. They cannot struggle with each other in reaching first, because the moment one prick is there by the sperm, the outer covering of ova hardens and second one will not be able to penetrate. One more point which you all should remember, my students, that after ovulation the ova comes to the upper end of oviduct, and at this point this is the place where fertilization takes place. Why? Why it takes place near ovary or in the upper part of oviduct? Why not in uterus? Why not in lower part? The answer is that lifespan of ova in the female body is 48 hours or 2 days. Once ova is released from ovary and falls into the oviduct, now its life is 2 days, and in 2 days it cannot travel more than the upper 1/3 of oviduct. If it is fertilized, then it is to be fertilized in this area, and if it is not fertilized, it won't be able to move further because it will die. So, ova without fertilization cannot move and reach uterus. So, fertilization cannot take place in uterus, though sperm is passing through uterus, entering the oviduct and reaching up to the upper end. So, for fertilization to occur, the site of fertilization has to be the upper 1/3 of oviduct. That is the reason. After fertilization, when zygote is formed, now it has full life. It will take 7 to 8 days to reach uterus. If it is fertilized, it won't die. It will reach uterus, and after it reaches uterus, wherever it touches the uterus, that becomes the implantation site and the placenta will start forming. Coming back to sperm again. Once sperm penetrates the ovum and it reaches inside, now its nucleus, which is containing 23 chromosomes, will join the nucleus of ovum, which is also containing 23 chromosomes, and now it becomes one nucleus containing 23 pairs of chromosomes, hence 46 in total. If this sperm was Y carrying, the result is XY, and if this sperm was X carrying, the result is XX. Once the fusion of nuclei has taken place and zygote is formed, now this zygote will not die. Like I told that ovum will die in 2 days. Now this zygote will survive well and will move down to uterus in 7 to 8 days. And during this movement also it is dividing, and by the time it reaches uterus it is 32 or 64 celled stage, and then the implantation takes place. This slide shows in detail how spermatogenesis occurs, and it is schematic representation. You can see the meiotic division. You can also see the division of one spermatogonia into two. The first meiotic division is reduction division, and hence the chromosome number became half, which is very significant for proper number of chromosomes to go to the next generation. Also, I would like to tell you, my students, that if there is one chromosome less or one chromosome more in the baby, it is going to create havoc in the life of the child. So, we cannot afford one chromosome more or one chromosome less. That results into syndromes, so many kinds of syndromes which we may discuss in some other session. So, once reduction division takes place properly, both the cells have half the number of chromosomes, neither more nor less. And if I say half, it does not mean any half, it means a particular half. And what is the meaning of particular half? That out of 23 pairs, each pair, from each pair means 2 chromosomes, from each pair one goes to one, other goes to other, from second pair one goes to one, other goes to other. That means you have 23 chromosomes if you number them 1 to 23 in one cell and 1 to 23 in other cell. And you are aware of the fact that chromosomes have genes and genes carry characters. So, try to appreciate that when zygote is formed, the one chromosome has come from mother, one set, and one set has come from father. If I explain in other way, your father had paired chromosomes, your mother had paired chromosomes, your father gave you one from one pair, second from second pair, hence 23 from 23 pairs in the form of sperm, and your mother gave 23 from 23 pairs in ova, and now when fertilization took place, you have 23 from father and 23 from mother, and that is how you have characters from both the parents. Coming back to this slide, after first meiotic division, the first division of meiosis, which is reduction division, these two cells are having half the number of chromosomes. Now, they will undergo simple mitosis to produce 4 cells, and these 4 cells will give rise to 4 sperms. And the point for you to understand that one spermatogonia will give rise to 4 sperms. Now, you have understood the process. Then in spermatogenesis, one cell gives rise to 4 cells, and 4 cells will give rise to 4 haploid gamete, male gamete sperm. That means there are so many spermatogonia and millions of sperms are produced. In case of men, the moment boy enters into puberty, he starts producing sperms and he will produce till the last day of his life. Though the quality of sperm is slightly affected with the increasing age. So, we have understood the topic gametogenesis in relation to spermatogenesis, formation of male gamete sperm in male system by the process of meiosis from germ cell called spermatogonia, which is lodged in testis inside the seminiferous tubules, and it gets nutrition in the process from Sertoli cells, and hormonal part is looked after by Leydig cells. So, a complex phenomenon, but very simple and is done by our human body machine in a very efficient manner. With this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very much.